Fourth grade. Today, the first step when you get your project back is you are going to cut out the main shape of your monster. So holding the tape, you're using bigger scissors. Scissors cut best right at the jaw. Don't try to cut it with the tip of the scissors. You are using adult scissors and they are supposed to cut fabric a little nicer. So you're going to cut while turning your project. If you get to an area here where it's nice and tight, you can actually kind of cut chunks out. This fabric here, right here, does not go in the garbage can. You're going to tear off the pattern and save it by putting it in the scrap box, which will be at the front of the room. You're going to cut all the way around until it's completely cut out. You don't want to miss any parts, so you want to keep going all the way around until it's completely cut out. I will be looking for jagged edges. You want a nice smooth cut. If you're having a hard time with the scissors that you have, you can always trade them in for a better pair. I try to keep my adult scissors in the back room so that they don't get used on other things and make them dull, so that they will cut fabric pretty decently. We are cutting through the paper and through the fabric. I'm going to go straight across right here. Kind of saving the hard parts for last. Right here, if I were to leave it, I don't like the shape of that one. You can see that I missed a spot. You're going to go back in and cut and turn. I'm turning the project, not the scissors. So you kind of cut along and turn the project. Cut along and turn the project. When you have this part done, you might have tiny itty bitty bits of felt like this small. You don't need to save those. It's more the big chunks that I'm looking to save. These kind of just end up being scraps in the scrap bin that nobody chooses. So make sure you throw the tiniest bits away. You're going to take off your pattern. And this is going to be the front side of your ugly doll. You can now throw this one piece away, and then you're going to start referring to your first drawing of all of the details. So I have this part cut out. I have my drawing next to me. Now I have to think, what part am I going to make or cut out first? So if I were to make this tongue, what you can do, if you want to do it straight off of the paper, is you can kind of grab a piece of free draw paper, some scraps, right near an edge, trace what you can see. This is a little line that I'll probably add later. And then you're going to cut out that little accessory. And you're going to look for scraps in the scrap bin. The reason I want you to cut it out is if you take a big piece of paper to the scrap bin, you don't really realize what size you're hunting for. So say I'm at the scrap bin and I'm going through the pile. What you can do is kind of hover over your piece of felt that you might find in the color that you like, and see if it fits. So I can go like this, kind of look on the back side. This one actually will fit. Now look at how thin it is. You wouldn't really realize it unless you had your pattern kind of ready to go. Now if you want to get the exact size, you can use tape again and tape that down, or you can kind of just hold on to it. So I'm going to hold on to it for the sake of making this video go faster. And as I hold, I'm trimming and I'm cutting out that shape. Now that tongue looks like it has a little bit, I might have missed a little bit, or the chunk isn't very well. So to make it symmetrical on both sides, I'm going to fold it in half, and then I'm going to cut and trim so that it's exact on both sides. There we go. Now for a black line on my tongue, I might just go and get a thin scrap from the scrap bin and attach like so. Making the eyes, I would start with the biggest part first. If that is going to be, if these were the same size, I could make them all at once. So I'm going to trace the shape that I need just one time. I'm going to cut that out. And I'm going to hover it above the scraps again. Nice small piece, because I'm looking for something that could be his eye. Now, I do have a ton of little scraps. You might want to wait for everybody to kind of put their big scraps in the box. This looks like they aren't big enough. You could also go and hunt for like the smaller pieces if there aren't big pieces of fabric in there yet. Let's say I wanted to do 2 small black dots. If you take your felt, even the skinniest amount of felt, and fold it over twice, and you cut out that shape while you hold it together on that fold, cutting away the fold, and you can get 2 of the exact same things because you folded the fabric. So anytime that you need 2 of something, let's say my eyelids ended up being green, if I folded the fabric over and then I cut both shapes out like it's just one, because I folded it, now I have 2. Okay? So you're going to start building all of the pieces to make it look like the actual picture that you made. So my eyes, I don't have big white felt by me right now, but my eyes could be, you're thinking in layers, okay? Thinking in layers. So as you go along, you can kind of change your color schemes for whatever's available. You can play up different ideas with layers. You can add on different stripes or polka dots, maybe eyelashes, eyebrows, and just keep thinking in layers. As you go along, just like so, you're just building all your pieces. By the end of class, you should have probably everything you need for the face, and then the next time we are together, we're going to talk about how to attach and sew them on. All right, thank you for listening.